Alright, so yeah, today I got 13,000 gold. So I figured, hey, I'll send a draft in. Why not? And then we'll probably move on to Explorer, knowing my luck. If I get 4-3, we can do more drafts, but knowing my luck and skill at draft, probably just going to be the one. Let's be real. Although it would be really cool if I were to get 7 wins. That would be pretty cool. Certainly going to try for it. Alright. Last person hasn't showed up. Very cool. I still would just like to say I have literally never not clicked ready within the first 5 seconds. I don't know what takes these people so long. Alright. Salvation Engine, 5 mana, crew 6. That seems extremely sus. Pact Altair is just a good card. What's this? 3 mana. That's like fine, I guess. I'm just gonna take like the best card in the pack. Kind of feeling like I want to do blue-black at some point. I've done a lot of the other archetypes, I think. But we'll see. We'll see how the packs line up, of course. This is certainly a card that you're fine first picking, and you're also fine if it doesn't end up being in your colors later. Alright. So we have Hazard of the Dunes, which is just a solid card. We've got some removal. I mean, I'm not taking the rare land. So I could take Broadcast Rambler. It works very well with Pact Altair. Yeah, let's try that. So that would be 2 artifacts entering, which would be pretty cool for a black-white artifacts deck. The person in front of me is slow. It's always a little amazing that they have this much time to not select cards. Like, the rope is pretty tight. Alright. So we got Worker Folk Indomitable. That's like a lot of 4 mana cards, which I don't love. I could take an Engine Rat. Or I could take a Dredger's Insight is fine, but not great. Engine Rat is in the colors I'm looking at. Worker Folk Indomitable is in the colors, but it's a 4 mana 4/3. Let's take a 1/1 Death Touch so that we don't die in the early game. That sounds fun. I like not dying to early aggro decks. Genuinely, how do they have this many packs? I assume they're just gone, not selecting anything, and just passing when they get them. This is kind of late for Rise from the Wreck. Like, this card is nuts. And this card is nuts. No good black or white cards, really. Maybe Rover Blades, but let's just take Rise from the Wreck. So yeah, I'm fairly certain that this person is just AFK. They've got to be, right? Like, I'm taking almost as long as I can on every pick, and they still have a billion cards lined up. Alright, risky shortcut is pretty good. I guess starting column isn't like the worst thing in the world, but let's take risky shortcut. And see if we can figure out what else is going on here. Yes, it's definitely, I think, between these two. Maybe a Mana Rock is fine, but I think I just want the value. Ooh, Haunt the Network. I could go like... I could go Haunt the Network. I only have one green card, one white card. I'm really not committed to either of those. And this card is stupendously good. So I'm definitely going to be in black at this point. Not entirely sure what my secondary color is going to be. Let's take Spectral Interference and go blue-black. I kind of wanted to do that anyway. We could take Calaxion and keep our options open, but that card is kind of bad. Let's take Spectral Interference. I'm not convinced that it's a very good card either, but... Alright, we could take Ripclaw Wrangler, which is really unexciting. It's probably just got to be a removal spell, right? We could go multicolor with, like, green for fixing. Nah, I think there's no way. I think we just take the kind of mediocre removal spell. Let's take a land here. So this color fixes, makes us more consistent. None of the rest of the cards are exciting. I could go Esper. Do I go Esper Greed? I think I go Esper Greed. And let's just take a good blue card and an Engine Rat. Well, if we're going Esper, we may as well take a white card. Alright, we could go Voyager Quickwelder for the artifact stuff. What else even is there? Not really anything exciting. Yeah, let's take artifact synergy. Trip Up is decent. Streaking Oil Gorger is fine, I guess. Let's take Trip Up. It cycles, so maybe helps us with colors and stuff. Alright, looking at it, it's between Grim Bauble and Dismal Backwater. I think we need early removal. That's also an artifact for our synergies. We've got some dual lands. It'll be fine. Let's get Rise from the Wreck out of here. Definitely not going to be in green here. Alright, so starting column is fantastic for our multicolored deck. It has artifact synergies and fixes our mana. We might end up like black, white, splash, blue. Let's see here. Which of these cards are good? It's probably the stupid rat. Yeah, let's take the rat. So we could take the Raceway or the Haunted Hellride. Either of these seem pretty good, but that's a colorless land, which is a bit sketch in my multicolored deck. This is an artifact. Makes attacking marginally better. Guidelight Pathmaker. So what can this find currently? A whole bunch of stuff? Let's take that. Seems pretty good. Alright, here I think we just grab... It's between Gravestalker and the Stallout. I think Gravestalker, for artifact synergy purposes, it has something. And Siphon Fuel as more removal, because we need that pretty badly. The Surveyor is like fine-ish as a blocker, so I guess I can take that. Kind of hoping to get a good dual land late picks. I find one. Fantastic. You'll love to see it. Alright. What do we have here? Interface Ace. Yeah, let's take Interface Ace. That is pretty good. Light Wheel Enhancements is not great. Mountain is irrelevant. Alright, so Back on Track could be a thing. Midnight Mangler is pretty good defensively. Trip Up just as removal. Kind of don't want to be playing Midnight Mangler. Let's take Back on Track, I guess. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure. That pack was not super great for me. Chandra. Okay. There's no way I can afford to play a fourth color in my already incredibly greedy pile of cards. So we could take Collision Course or Roadside Blowout. Collision Course deals with things permanently, whereas Roadside Blowout is very temporary. Let's take Collision Course. Kind of want to see more Pact Terrors and other artifact synergy. Alright. I've definitely died to the Sloth on its own before. Yeah, I mean, this card is like just kind of a good card, right? Let's just take a kind of a good card, I think. Rather than more like cost reduction. Alright, Hellish Sideswipe is kind of good. Gonna have some artifacts lying around, probably. Another starting column, though. I think I just need the mana fixing for my very, very silly greedy deck. We need, like, creatures to play at some point in the game. And risky shortcut. Just good old-fashioned 2-for-1s. Alright, we could take a Deathless Pilot. That card is not terrible. We could take an Ether Jacket. Let's take a Deathless Pilot. I have a decent amount of mounts and vehicles in here. Alright, Embalmed Ascendant is pretty good. We could take Tranquil Cove for even more fixing, but I think we're probably pretty good on fixing. Let's take a Glitch Ghost Surveyor just as a flyer. And maybe even a Guidelight Matrix. And a Quick Welder. And a Gravestalker. And a bad card. And a bad card. Alright, well, we're a 3-color greed pile. Let's see if we can be a good 3-color greed pile. That card's bad. That card's bad. There's no way I need 3 of these, right? I don't know. Maybe I do need 3 of them just for curve purposes. Alright, artifact spells you cast cost 1 less. What are my big artifacts, even, that I would want to be discounting? Broadcast Rambler, Packdoll Terror. Yeah, I don't actually know how good this is. I mean, it's a 3-mana 2/4, and it's an artifact for other purposes. It's probably fine. This can turn mounts and vehicles on, which seems good. Alright, I need to make 9 cuts. Probably the Surveyors can go. Do I have 3-mana creatures then? If I get rid of those. I have the Quick Welders. This is kind of a 3-mana creature if you squint. Hellride, also not really a 3-mana creature, but kind of. Alright, then the top back on track seems very expensive and not that great. Siphon Fuel is good removal. It's very expensive, but it kills a thing and gains me life. So the thing is that I need top end in order for this to work. Like, I'm playing a 3-color greed pile. My early turns are not going to be consistent by any means. So I kind of need a chunky top end. Let's probably put Trip Up back. That's probably too slow. 3 islands, 2 dismal backwater is fine. I think I might cut Spectral Interference and Stall Out and have the blue be like a splash at the top end. That seems pretty reasonable, I think. Now I have a bunch of 3-mana spells, looks like, on my curve. Could probably cut one of them. maybe one. My blue splash is a lot smaller than it was. I think I can cut one starting column. And probably Deathless Pilot Engine Rat. Just do something like that. Something like this. A decent early game. And then we start hitting the haymakers late game. So we have 7 white sources. We have 5, 6, 7, 8 black sources, 5 blue sources, and a starting column. It's probably fine. It's probably fine. Let's try to win some games with a 3-color greed pile. Alright, well, double planes, quad black card. Unfortunately, an easy mulligan. Alright, this is fine, I guess. I think we throw one of the rats back. Alright, so we have blue and black mana. We need to top deck a plains at some point before we hit a white spell. Alright, I think literally only one blue spell in the deck left. Should I just kill this? I think I just kill that. Just leave the Death Toucher for something more annoying to stop. Like that guy, that works well. Opponent has played triple mountain. So that's interesting. I'll play a starting column. Doesn't do anything yet. Gain a life. Alright. We get to do vehicle things where we have vehicles but no creatures. That's fun. I could surveil 2 now. I think I'm just going to play out my vehicle at the moment. So that's a 5/4 exhaust, tap a mount or vehicle, make it a creature. Alright. That's a little worrying, but probably fine. Let's play the Gravestalker. Do I want to untap the Gravestalker? Yeah, so this gives me better blocks at the cost of 1 point of damage, which is probably fine. Opponent concedes. Alright, if they had a second color, they were color screwed. If they didn't have a second color, why are you playing monocolor in draft? So, the deck wasn't amazing there, but it certainly functioned well enough. Alright, currently waiting. Waiting on an opponent. So the big question with this deck is going to be the mana base. Like, I think if we can cast all of our spells on curve, we should be fine. But if we have more hands like that first one where we have all the wrong colors, it's going to be kind of brutal. Alright, we have black-white. We don't really need blue for a while. So let's lead on this. Scoured Barrens gain a life, just for good measure. We could play the Interface Ace. I think we play the Sarcophagus because, like, we might be attacking. They probably aren't attacking. I suppose they could have haste, but oh, they're a 3-color greed pile as well. Interesting. So Collision Course deals 1 to something. We draw the land, naturally, that's great. So that exhausts for big value. I think I offer the trade. I'm not too pressed about it if they block. Love to get my engines up. Yeah, let's play out an Interface Ace. This card is really awkward to say. Alright, we have lost it. We do need to hit land drops. East Wrench Goblin. Alright. Land drops hit, and it's also blue mana, which is nice. So I could kill that. I could kill that and attack again. That's probably worthwhile. Deal a solid 1 to it. Attack again, go up to speed. Do I cycle this or not? I guess we can decide at end of turn. I would love to hit a 5th land for the Sloth. Alright, they do get to exhaust the Scurryfoot. I think I cycle this just to make sure I hit land drops. Alright. Well, I can't quite get through this turn, but I can play out a couple of creatures. And pass. That's max speed, it pings someone. And they Wrath. Alright. That's not great for me. If I hit a land drop, it's kind of like a land drop. So next turn I can play the Sloth, just have a 5/5. Alright, they have a 5/5. I could play the Pathmaker and grab an artifact, but that wouldn't be crewing. I think I just have to play a 5/5 just to block, if possible. No, I am... Yeah, run over is a good word for what's going on here. Alright, they have the Lightning Strike to finish it off. Maybe I should have killed the stupid 1/1 instead of what I did. Maybe my removal spell was wrong there. It gave them an extra 3/3 when I didn't need to. I just thought that I was winning, so I wanted to stop them from digging for more stuff. So I killed the thing that rummages. But maybe that was a mistake. Maybe I did need to kill the 1/1. Not sure how much of a difference it would have made. It might have been enough. Alright, this is fine. We can go Quick Welder into Broadcast Rambler, have a bunch of artifacts, and then haunt the network to do a big old drain. So they're blue-black. Playing some Wicker Folk. I'll play this guy out. It's kind of annoying if it gets killed. Oh, they take my Haunt the Network. That is devastating. Kind of needed that. Well, the good news is that I have a 5/4. And I think I attack here. I think their attacks are... So they have this attack, which I can't really do anything about. Alright. That's terrifying. It's not worth losing my 1/1 over, because that's how I activate the Rambler. Alright, so I can Grim Bobble, kill that, Collision Course, kill that, play a land, crew up, and do I attack with the Quick Welder? No, they're not going to block this, so that would be a free block. So there's a good chance they have some drain that gets this to max speed, and then they get to draw a bunch. Yikes, risky shortcut. Alright, so now their card draw is busted. And I think I am untapping and Grim Bobbling in my upkeep. Is risky shortcut good? I guess. They're pretty low. Alright, so we go to main. I think we crew with the Quick Welder so that we can attack for 6 here. And then let's draw 2. Haunted Hellride. That's pretty nice. So they have a lot of mana and a lot of cards. They're at 3, and they have no real meaningful threat on board. So we just need to close this out. Scrounging Skyray, not great in the blue-black deck. I will discard a Plains. That's fine. So play that out. I think we crew here. Make these attacks. Give that a 3rd point of toughness and Death Touch. So they have to block that. They have to block both of these and lose both of their things. And if they can kill both of my creatures here and then find a way to gain some life, then they'll win. But I have killed their thing which drew them an extra card. I think it only drew them 1, so it's probably fine. Alright, they have Haunt the Network. That is very, very good for them. What's that, crew 2? let's crew up these two and then go to attack with them. So neither of these are lethal threats. But they did mess up, so they crewed, which means that I could just block one thing. Alright, so they needed to double chump there, or at least just go to blocks and chump one thing there. So we managed to get them with the removal spell. So far, not doing terribly. Our opponent has Chandra Avatar. We have Stone Cold nothing until literally turn 5. I guess if their threat is an artifact, this is a removal spell, but there's no way. Alright, this is like, at least we have a 2/4. And I think we throw back the Pathmaker. Alright, would love to have a swamp here. Instead I have 2 of my 3 islands. As always. So they're doing green-white stuff. So that can become a 5/5 trampler in the future. Alright, well the mana base is definitely failing me at the moment. The old 4 black cards in hand. It's the most common mana color in the deck. But it's not looking good for the home team. If I draw a swamp, that changes. Okay, Broadcast Rambler, not a swamp, is at least a castable spell. So they can exhaust that and trade with the Rambler, I guess. Seems fine-ish for me. Okay, they're going to saddle instead. I think we crew up here and block before it gets even bigger. If they'll let me. They may have a removal spell. Pass to blockers. It's probably going to be the +4/+4 trample spell. No, just Light Shield parry. So if I had double blocked, it would have worked. I assumed if they had a combat trick, it was going to become immense, and it wouldn't matter. But it would have mattered. And I haven't drawn any black mana. If that had been a swamp, I could have siphoned fuel the Mustang and been fine-ish. I think we maybe have one more turn. This is -6, -6. I think maybe we still have this turn. Alright, so they're giving that trample, that's fine. Don't really care about that, I wasn't going to block anyway. So I think if I draw a swamp here, I'm still fine. If I draw a swamp, I kill the Mustang. I'm just going to take 6. Obviously it has trample. So if I draw a swamp, I kill the Mustang, the board is approximately stable, and I can start playing out stuff. But haunt the network draw with like basically every non-black land in the deck in play. I guess we'll stay in the game, but it feels like it's over now. Because now this is going to get out of Siphon Fuel range. Which means I guess I could do it with a block. Which wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Yeah, I think I just take 7 again. It has trample, so like... Yikes. Alright. I can cycle the Gravestalker. And I'm going to emote and then concede. Yeah, okay, so I just didn't draw the most common color in my deck. I think the number of black sources in my deck is normal, like even for a 2-color mana base. So I think I just objectively got unlucky there. Obviously 3-color, it happens, right? But like... those islands would have probably been more plains if I'd been 2-color, not more swamps. So, like, I don't know. Alright, we have black mana, we have white mana. We only have 2 lands. If we draw a 3rd, we get starting column, and we're good. I think we keep this on the draw. Yeah, lovely. Let's gain a life real quick. Alright, there's our 3rd color even. Alright, so next turn I can go... Oh, they're doing mill? Are they mono blue? They might be mono blue. Alright, let's play a quick welder so that we can broadcast Rambler next turn. I only have single white, which means Unswerving Sloth is going to be rough. But like I could go like starting column. I think I could go starting column, Walking Sarcophagus, Broadcast Rambler. Probably not all in one go. They're at 2 speed. I'm not sure when that happened. Alright, so I can go starting column, Engine Rat, Walking Sarcophagus. And they are blue-white. So they're blue-white, I'm Esper. So theoretically, I should have more power. More powerful cards. They have a Gear Seeker Serpent, which is fine-ish. I think I just play out the Rambler here. So if they spend 6 mana on that not being blocked, honestly, that's probably fine. So X is the number of permanents that are creatures and or vehicles. So that would be 5, which wouldn't kill the serpent this turn. Yeah, no blocks. Alright, so I think another plains is great. I think I pull the trigger on Haunt the Network to get a lot of life. Just you know, just a lot of life. And then we think we pass. Next turn we can collision course kill the serpent if we need to. If not, we could play the sloth. How much mana do I have? 5, 6. So if I draw a land, I can sloth and collision course the serpent. How much of a threat is the Ether Siphon? Not really much of one. What other max speed do they have? Just draw a card from your graveyard. That's fine. Okay, Possession Engine. Actually not that bad. I might end up keeping the collision course to kill that, but like, what are they going to take? Just a Rambler? Or the... Alright, they take the Quick Welder. Are they just trying to push through attacks normally this turn? Seems bad. Alright, so we do draw the swamp. So do I even take my Quick Welder back by blowing up the Possession Engine? I guess it's also a vehicle. Let's destroy target artifact. Get my guy back. And we'll play a giant sloth. And I think we swing for 3 in the air. Our ground blocks are more than enough. Just the extra points of damage matter a lot. Alright. So they're at 10, I'm at 21. They have an interface ace. Not really doing anything at the moment. So this can gain Indestructible. It can't really attack into the Gearseeker Serpent because it's a 5/6. But I do still just have the air. They activate Ether Siphon to draw a card. It's pretty good for them, obviously. They still don't have good attacks. Thank you, Engine Rat. Very cool. Another Quick Welder. So this would be draw 2, discard 1. Do I think the Quick Welder is better off as a random card? Honestly, yeah, kinda. Especially like now that I'm into Activate Engine Rat part of the game. I think the plan is attack for 3, activate Engine Rat. Is this a sorcery? No. So we Engine Rat them to 5 and then kill them next turn with the Thopters plus the Rat. Alright, they have Perilous Snare, which is going to take the Sloth. So they might have good attacks now. Glitch Ghost Surveyor. Alright, so that's important for them, because that's a flying blocker. So now Engine Rat might low-key be my only main win con. Alright, let's activate this. I don't really need the 7th mana. I said I don't really need the 7th mana. Alright, that's fine. Gotta get through them at some point. Let's activate the Rat. Put you to 5. Do I even play the Gravestalker? It's a 5/4. So I guess I can play out and make the board stall even board stallier. So if I attack with the Thopters, they block 1, go to 3. That's not worth it, I don't think. I think it will be worth it next turn. Maybe. Board stalls. Alright, they got my engine rat. This got a lot more difficult now that I have to actually get through the board at some point. They play a glider, which on defense is just a 1/1. But it's not even a flying 1/1 on defense, which is pretty good. Still don't have max speed, by the way, which would make that snare a whole lot better. Hey look, it's another engine rat. Just what the doctor ordered. Let's play that out. And do I go for it this turn? No, it doesn't matter, I think. I think I can attack next turn and still be safe. Shout out to my boy Engine Rat for, like, legitimately potentially being the thing that wins me the game. Yeah, I can drain you for 2. And oh boy, am I putting that on top. What a silly game. Like, imagine a 1-mana 1/1 Death Toucher being the thing that wins you the game on this board. Craziness. So now they need to get rid of 2 of the Thopters. Alright. Show me a removal spell. This doesn't have any keywords. Nope, it's just literally just a 5/4. Alright, they go to 1. I play out the rat. And I activate. That was certainly a game of Magic the Gathering. I feel like they had good-ish attacks with the Gearseeker Serpent that maybe they could have been more aggressive there. It's hard to say though. I'm not sure how exactly it looked from their end. I was just like accepting the fact that if they attacked, then I'd figure out what to do about it. So I guess they spent most of their mana on most of their turns, so if they had just been firing up the Gearseeker Serpent, their board would be a lot smaller. So yeah, I don't know. And maybe I could have killed the Gearseeker Serpent instead of the Possession Engine to play around that. Alright, we've got our colors, we've got an early creature. His hand is not great, but it's fine. Gotta keep the fine hands with good mana. Alright, they have a Gas Guzzler, I have a Sarcophagus. You have a 1-mana 2/1, I have a 2-mana 2/1. Alright. Risky Shortcut is pretty good. Not exactly enthusiastic about my attacks there. The Raider is going to take my Siphon Fuel. Alright, we can take a turn off to play a tap land, get blue mana. And still not good attacks. Maybe their creatures are better than mine to the point where I need to make that attack anyway to force them to trade with something. Alright, I can deny them max speed here. Which is probably worthwhile. Alright, I can't deny them max speed. They have a Pactol Terror. Yikes. Yikes indeed. I'm going to cycle the Gravestalker. I will play a 5-mana 5/5 and hope that it is enough to stall the board out a little bit. I'm not in play Activate Engine Rat just yet. So play Activate Engine Rat would be 7 mana. I have that in hand, but not on board. That's Saddle 4. So I can actually do that, right? So I play out the rat. Play out the Embalmed Descendant. I make a guy. We saddle her up. And now we get a good attack in with an indestructible creature, assuming they don't have a removal spell ahead of time. Alright, we get the attack trigger, which untaps my board, which is important. And they let it connect. That's pretty cool. Let's gain us a life and get a tap land out of the way. Yeah, no one's surprised to see them exhaust the Scurryfoot. I still have a 5/5 blocker, which is pretty amazing. Pothole Mole. And they whiff. Mimeoplasm? Okay, well. I guess I'm glad to see that in the bin. How much mana is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I could activate the rat. I think we just go for value plays at the moment. Play the Pathmaker. Take action. And yeah, we just take our own Pactol Terror. That's pretty good. And same thing as last time. We fire up the Sloth and we attack with it. Unswerving Sloth is a busted card. If your opponent doesn't have removal, it just annihilates things. So this is a 6/5 Vigilance in the future, which will be pretty cool. Guidelight Matrix cantrips. Alright, they run over a random little guy instead of my bomb. So they should have untapped and run over the Sloth, or even done it pre-combat. That's a huge punt on their part. Or no, that's right. So that's equal to its power. I was thinking of the white one, which is equal to the number of creatures you control. Sloth is too big. They could attack out to get to max speed. It seems pretty bad for them. No, they played the bike, right? So they already got a speed this turn. So they don't have good attacks. Alright. So we can go Pactol Terror, drain you. Quick Welder, drain you. I think the point of life is more valuable. Alright, artifact, enchantment, or creature with flying. Alright, that's fine. I will crew up the Pathmaker in response. And then I will saddle this with those two. And I guess we attack out. They have to block at this point, otherwise they just die. And the Pathmaker has Vigilance. Feeling very, very solid about this game. Obviously, the Guide Light Matrix not draining them is a bit sad. Would love to still have my Terror, but Sloth is going to carry this game on its back, probably. Alright, they put the Pactol Terror up. That's good for me. Love to be rid of that. Significantly less funny business available to them now. Oh, they have Refueler plus Scurryfoot. That's a problem. Okay, Risky Shortcut is huge. Let's play the Matrix, draw a card. 1 mana cantrip. Pretty good with the Quick Welder out. Alright, so they're at 5, which means 2 Engine Rats plus a Risky Shortcut kills them. So I could attack with more things, but the Sloth makes that not really make sense. Let's do the Risky Shortcut now. Play a land. Saddle this guy up and make our attack. And I think I hold this second Engine Rat because I plan on using it as my win con. And I don't want them to be able to kill both Engine Rats in one go. So they can exhaust the Scurryfoot every turn for the rest of the game. And they can make that a little bit bigger. Still don't have any good attacks. Do I activate the starting column? I don't think so. I think we will go to combat first. Oh, I forgot to accrue the thing. Whoopsie. Can Grim Bobble get anything relevant here? Not really. Let's just activate our rat, put them to 1. Which realistically should be good enough. So now they're dead to Engine Rat in hand unless they can gain life. And I should have attacked the Sloth. They have an extra elephant now because of that, or maybe just a Gas Guzzler. But I don't think that matters at this point. Unless they have some crazy anthem that kills me out of nowhere. Which is technically possible, some sort of overrun effect. But I should be fine. I have 1 card in hand. 1 card, 7 mana. I think they've looked at the Engine Rat. Alright. Opponent is either thinking if there's a way out or roping. I hope they're thinking if there's a way out. This is a good game. I don't want my opponent to be salty at the end of it. Alright, they cast Rise from the Wreck. They know that none of their things can deal with an Engine Rat, and they concede. Fantastic. You love to see it. So, how many wins was that? That was our 4th win, which means we get... It means we get to do another round. That's pretty cool. Let's try to get up to 7, shall we? Engine Rat has been like shockingly good this draft. Yeah, this hand is great. We've got a rat. We've got some 3-mana guys. We even draw a removal spell. Alright, every point of damage matters. Every point of damage is half of an Engine Rat activation. So they're blue-green. Blue-green 08s. Okay. Well, let's play an Embalmed Descendant. Attack you for 1. See if you find losing your 08. Shout out to Death Touch creatures. We're now at speed 2. Alright, they have a bike. It gains them 2 life for some reason. Alright, blue mana acquired. Let's get some more speed. That's crew 2. That's 0. They can tap to add a mana. Alright. So I'm not sure why they blocked the thing that they were going to bounce anyway. Seems bad to me. So Haunt the Network, not going to be amazing next turn, but it's probably still just worth it. Alright, it reduces my speed by 1. That is surprisingly irritating. My poor rat. Alright, so I think I just kill that with Siphon Fuel and redeploy. Or I can't even redeploy, but I can get speed up back up to 3 at least. Opponent is playing slow. I don't think the Pathmaker changes anything this turn. I think we just kill their 4/4, get in for 1 measly point of damage. Alright, Thunderhead Gunner. That's scary. That's a real problem. I think I Pathmaker here. Not sure what I get. It might just be Pact Altair. It's probably just, like, always gonna be Pact Altair. And redeploy the rat. So next turn we can Pact Altair for 3 mana. And then if we draw a land, then we can Haunt the Network as well on the same turn, which would be very cool. Opponent is at 18, which means we win in 9 turns to Engine Rat activation. What a silly card. They do get to discard a card and draw a card every turn. Which is concerning. So they get another defender, which can clone exhaust abilities. Alright, well let's play the Pactol Terror. Get me a ping. I have 3 mana up, so if they have a counterspell, it has to be a hard counterspell, which could be. Alright, max speed acquired. And then I'll play out an Engine Rat. And this has Vigilance. So I will attack with my 6/5. An Engine Rat attack is probably fine too. Good old Death Touch. If they want to trade their Gunner for my Rat, I would love that for me. Ooh, that's some fun value. I do love recasting my ETB effects. They could crew up the bike. Alright, they don't crew up the bike. So I'm going to get to replay the Pathmaker and find another card. That's pretty cool. They just get another bike. They sure do have a lot of bikes. So those bikes have gained them a total of 4. So they should be at 14. It's definitely going to matter later in the game. Alright, I'm going to get my ETB effect back. Thank you very much. And doubly so now that there's a Pactol Terror. So if I get a 3 mana artifact, I can play it this turn. Although not the Hellride because I tapped wrong for it. Actually, no, I didn't tap wrong. I just couldn't tap right for it. I think I get the Guidelight Matrix. It goes directly into play and draws me a card. So that saddles a mount or crews a vehicle. It doesn't have haste. Alright, we pass. And next turns we're going to haunt the network. Alright, so do we even want to play Scoured Barrens? I might. Nah, I'm going to draw more lands to discard with this. Five, 6, 7. So I can play the starting column and then haunt the network and have an additional artifact in play for it. Choose target opponent. If you have a counterspell, I will be very sad. Surely there's no way your last card is a counterspell. Alright, it's a Broken Wings to blow up the Pathmaker. That's fine. It's obviously good for them, but it's fine. I'm at 34 now. Jeez, alright. 34 certainly is a life total. 36 to 7. Alright, they draw stock up. So they are officially ahead on cards in hand, but I think I just start jamming out next turn, swinging with a team, and seeing what happens. They have 2 1/1s now, which is surprisingly not irrelevant. I'm going to activate the column to draw 2, then discard 1. Alright, happy to discard a land. Yeah, now it's basically over. With the gunner down. They don't have good blocks anymore. So we attack with those two. We have this in play, actually. If they block, like, if they kill the Quick Welder, they lose a life. Nah, that doesn't really make sense at the moment. These random 1/1s do prevent me from attacking with the engine rats. And are going to draw them a bunch of cards. Alright. That's definitely spicy. They're gonna... These are rares, by the way. Just casually 2 rares in their deck. Don't worry about it. So next turn I have 5, 6, 7, 8 mana. So I activate an Engine Rat, put them to 3, swing out, and win, I assume. Alright. They can draw a bunch of cards at the cost of tapping 2 blockers, which means they lose. Alright. Good game. Activate ye old rat. And swing out. So if they kill my stuff, then they lose life. And if they don't kill my stuff, then they die to combat damage. Alright. Another victory for the 3-color greed pile. And because of Engine Rat, again, what the heck? I've won 3 games in a row by activating Engine Rat for 2 points of damage. Alright. We're up to 5. Can we get 2 more wins? Can we get 2 more wins? That is the question. Alright, we are waiting for an opponent. Alright, we find one. They are named Dune. Alright. We have basic land, Tron. We have a 2-mana blocker, a 3-mana blocker, value, and removal. This is pretty good. You love to see basic land, Tron. Alright. Interface Ace. Very good with the Sloth. Just a nice, convenient way of crewing it up. Alright, they're green-black. Noted. I'm going to play out my basic land Tron because it's funny. I'll play out my 2/4. No point attacking with an 0/4. I think this turn I probably just risky shortcut. Alright. We don't have a second white source for the Sloth, which could be a problem. It's one of the few double-colored cards in the deck. That requires more than one color of a specific pip, that is. Block. Alright. You got me. Grimbauble is a good top deck. So this lets me kill the Gas Guzzler efficiently. And also lets me scry on my opponent's end step, or surveil rather. Mostly the same for my deck. I don't have any graveyard recursion. Alright, they have a mole. which doesn't brick. Sad. That's return creature or vehicle from the graveyard to the battlefield as a sorcery. I've got to keep that in mind. Those are both bad? Like, I guess that's technically a second... this is technically a second white mana. I guess we take it and play the Sloth next turn. It's like a tap land, basically. And also cycle later. They get up to speed 2. They play a Siege Rhino vehicle. What do they have in here? Nothing super exciting. I get to play a 2-mana 5/4. And a 5/5. Pretty good turn for me. Not gonna lie. Although this beetle is going to be a problem. I guess I double block it, but feels kind of bad to do that, because then they can kill my Sloth. I think I have to. I don't think I can drop to 7. And if they have a combat trick, then I am in serious trouble. If they have become immense here, that would be pretty good for them. Are they just deciding where to distribute the damage, hopefully? No, they have run over, which kills my thing, saves their thing, and deals it damage for speed. Well, shoot. I have Siphon Fuel, so they can't just do it again every turn, but you hate to see it. And they can even use that to just get it back second main phase if they want. They're just buffing up the mole and attacking. Or no, they're attacking with both. Alright. Get rid of you. At least for now. Go to 9. I'm going to need some good top decks. Starting column can't help me with this one. Alright. Not terrible. Not really what I want for Christmas, but a couple 1/1s, gain a couple life. Definitely happy to see Haunt the Network. So that's just when it enters. That's just when it enters. I would not be surprised for them to activate the Broodheart engine and get their Siege Rhino vehicle back. And I don't know how I'm going to beat that, so... Oh, Carrion Cruiser, is that... Oh, that's somehow even worse. Cool. Good to know. Well, I'll take 6, I guess. Yeah, I mean, we're just dead here, right? We can blow up an artifact. We can kill the Fang Guardian, chump block the Carrion Cruiser. Wait, that's creatures and or vehicles, not creatures and or artifacts. This is notably not a vehicle. So I have to kill the Carrion Cruiser, chump block the Fang Guardian. You hate to see it. I think I've lost here. So I'm dead on board to this, so I have to block. If they have a removal spell, they win. If they just play the Debris Beetle, I go to 1. I think there are no outs at this point. we'll see what my top deck is, just for fun. Yeah, it's a Pathmaker. That's not going to block 3 creatures, one of which is a 6/6 trample. Alright, good game. So we went, what, 5-3? Solid performance. The greed pile worked out. We lost 2 games to mana and 1 game just to being beat down, I think. Actually, I think that, no, the first game we lost was also just to being beat down. Yeah, the greed pile worked pretty well. Let's do another one. I have the gems to do another one, so I may as well. Alright, select ready. And hopefully everyone else does too. Again, I have literally never in my life not selected ready within 3 seconds of the button popping up. I will never comprehend what takes people so long. All right. All right, so we have this, which is 2 mana, 3/2, start your engines. Sack a creature, surveil 1, make a 2/2 zombie. That's pretty good. Let's take that and see if we can run back the maybe not 3-color greed pile, we'll see, but I don't know, maybe we do literally just run it back depending on if we draw more Haunt the Networks. Alright, we could take a 2 mana 3/3, but don't really care for that. We could take a Grim Bauble or a Ride's End. I think Ride's End is... No, Grim Bauble is better in the deck because it's an artifact. Ride's End kills more things. It's much better late game, but you gotta get to the late game. And let's see. Other options are like Pit Automaton is not great. Sundial Dawn Tyrant is not great. Avishkar Raceway is a colorless land, which, considering there's a very high chance I'll pick like random blue cards for as a 3rd color, or maybe even random green cards. Who knows? Like, having colorless lands is a serious cost. So this is like Orzhov's Sacrifice, start your engines stuff. We'll see if we can get some sort of aristocrat style thing going. If not, at least we got a rare. All right, we could take a 5 mana 9/7. Triple green is impossible though. Guidelight Synergist. +1/+0 for each artifact you control. So it'll always be a 1/1 because 1/4 because it counts itself. Yeah, so the other options are like Leonin Surveyor or Starting Column or switching colors, but let's just take the Synergist. We gotta look out to figure out what's open at the table. All right, so here we have Transit Mage, which I guess is kind of like more copies of Pact Altera if I get one, or Hull Drifter, or we could just take Interface Ace and stay in black-white, but I don't want to stay in black-white. That's boring. Let's go 3-color greed pile again. Take Transit Mage. So we're looking for like Pact Alters, Hull Drifters. Alright, there's a Pactile Terror. Don't need to think too hard about that. It's like the best card in the archetype. Engine Rat's secretly good, but we'll probably see more of those. And Pactile Terror coming late is great. Alright. Workerfolk Indomitable. Guidelight Matrix is an artifact. Workerfolk Indomitable is an artifact that comes back a bunch. I could take the Thopterist, but I think just Guidelight Matrix is probably, it's like a decent card, right? So Diversion Unit is a 2-mana 2/1 flyer that can sack to protect my stuff. Trade the Helm could be very, very funny if I have like random Thopters and stuff lying around. Let's try Diversion Unit. That seems cheeky and fun. Alright. Another Guidelight Matrix, I guess. It's the only decent card in the colors. Alright, Hull Drifter or Risky Shortcut. It's gotta be Risky Shortcut, right? It's like 3 mana, draw 2 instead of 5 mana, draw 2. Kind of a huge difference. Alright. Pit Automaton is not great here. I guess the like Surveyor is fine. Haunted Hellride is pretty good. I didn't see it much in the last game, that's just because of the draw. Alright, waiting to see what other people take. Is there some big holdup somewhere? A couple people taking a while. Really, I think the strat in draft is to just take as long as you can for every pick, even if you're pretty sure, just so you're never staring at literally 0 cards. Tune-up or Hull Drifter? I think Hull Drifter as a second Transit Mage pick makes sense. It's not like a super exciting card, but it's like fine, I guess. Spectral Interference. This deck is much heavier blue than the previous one. We'll take the creature. I'm not super big on counter spells. I like to tap out. Alright, Debris Beetle. Memory Guardian is pretty good. We could just take a land. Necro Regent is kind of busted for Start Your Engines. I'm pretty heavy blue. Necro Regent is not artifact synergy, but it is like pretty good. I think we'll get lands later on. Alright, Gastel Raiders I'm not really excited about. I'm kind of not excited about any of these cards, to be honest. I might just take the Night Market. Like, this might just be a pick a land, be insulated from color problems. Sarcophagus is fine. Camera Launcher is pretty good. This is like 2 artifacts for the price of 1. Let's take 2 artifacts on a single stick. And Roadside Blowout is actually like decent if there are tokens. Flood the engine, not so good. Yeah, let's take Roadside Blowout here. Alright, I think we take... I think this is another land pick. Take the Tranquil Cove. Haunt the Network incredibly late. What the heck? This is like pick 6. Alright. Feeling good about blue-black in particular. Alright. Let's see. Still waiting on opponents to pass us some packs. Alright, there is a massive holdup just past me, which means it's going to take forever to even get to me. So that is unfortunate. So you pick quickly once, and you have to sit here for 30 seconds to a minute, just doing nothing. So we need more early stuff. We have lots of decent late game. We need like early removal, early creatures. Like 1 and 2 mana stuff is what we're missing right now. Dune Drifter is fine. Shortcut. We could take a shortcut. I do like that card. Possibly better just to take a backwater. We have a lot of 3 mana spells. Probably don't need any more of those unless they're like really good. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 3 mana spells. Yeah, that's probably too many for this point in the draft. Alright. Please give me some packs. Thank you. Alright, starting column fixes mana. Walking Sarcophagus is an early creature. Let's take mana fixing. It's even more 3 mana spells, but having additional mana in the deck is pretty good. And starting column is just like a good card. I was super happy with it last league. Alright. We get past a Scoured Barrens. We could take a bounce off. I'm going to take Scoured Barrens. So I have 3 multicolored lands and a starting column. Maybe too many for this point in the draft. I'm probably going to get another 2 in like pack 3. Alright. Spot Cycle Scouter is an early artifact, I guess. It's not great. Don't love having to crew to just get a 3/2 out of it. But it's 2 mana, it scries 2. It's not the worst thing in the world. I would love to cut it, but might not get the opportunity. Alright. What is this? 3 mana, 6/5, put a land into your hand. Oh, that's awful. Let's take literally anything else. Let's take just like a random artifact because it might be playable. Collision Course late is pretty cool. It's not the best removal spell in the world, but it blows up artifacts. Whenever you activate an exhaust ability, draw a card, and it becomes a permanent 4/4. I could see it. I like the Embalmed Descendant last time. Let's take the Embalmed Descendant. Third risky shortcut, probably too much. There's no way you first pick a land. Let's take that. Alright, so we could get a 2-mana 3/1 that surveils for mana, or we could get a 2-mana 1/3 flyer that surveils for free when it enters. This seems better. Just tune-up. No, tune-up's probably no good. Collision Course, I already have one of those. I think an early creature is good. I'm missing the engine rats though. I would love to have 2 engine rats in the deck. That would really bring things together. Are any of these cards like things I'm definitely cutting? Not necessarily. Maybe Spot Cycle Scouter. Alright, Unstoppable Plan is a rare that does nothing. Sheffet Archfiend is a Wrath. Do I even want a Wrath? Or do I just want Pride of the Road? Or do I even just want Grim Javelineer? No, I don't want Grim Javelineer. I think I want Pride of the Road as Start Your Engines win con. Alright, Skyseer's Chariot is like impossible to figure out in draft what to name. There's an Engine Rat. I think Engine Rat is definitely better than Embalmed Descendant. So I'm going to take it. And let's see what we get past next. Hopefully, we'd love more Engine Rats, but the deck seems pretty solid. Broadcast Rambler is good. It's 2 artifacts in 1, and one of them is quite big. And it crews itself, so it's kind of just like a 5-mana 5/4, if nothing else. We do have a fair bit more blue in the deck. Probably going to cut the Surveyor. Hull Drifter being double blue isn't brilliant. It's going to be hard to cast that without the starting column. Also, only one of my dual lands is blue. Alright, Repurposing Bay is way too cheeky. I guess no, Repurposing Bay is way too cheeky. None of the rest of these cards. So I guess Nesting Bot or Deathless Pilot, but I think the answer here is Scoured Barrens. And 2-mana 3/1 that surveils, 2-mana 3/1 that might ramp me if I'm on the draw. Let's get the Ticket Tortoise. That seems fine. Alright, Racer's Scoreboard seems not good. Scrap Compactor, I guess, as it's kind of like 4-mana removal or 7-mana removal if you hate having fun. Definitely not enthusiastic about Scrap Compactor. Another risky shortcut, another bounce off, or first bounce off. I can do first bounce off probably. I have 2 risky shortcuts already. I'm not sure how good it's going to be. All right. Let's grab a tune-up, just so that in case they kill something important, we can get it back. Ether Jacket is removal and a creature and an artifact. Alright, we are closing off. I would love to get some more dual lands. Nope, nothing there. I guess I'll take this cycle. And probably just going to cut it, but you never know. Probably going to cut both of these. Alright. Gearseeker Serpent. As far as literal last picks go, I've seen much worse. Alright, so let's start by cutting the Scouters. Yeah, this mana base... I have 2 double blue cards and a bunch of early blue cards, so I guess 6 islands makes sense. So that's 7 blue sources, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, it's 8 blue sources, right? So that's 6, that's 7, that's 8. This is 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's 8, 7, and 7, which is pretty good. Now for the harder cuts. Glitch Ghost Surveyor can be cut pretty comfortably. I just don't know how big this is going to be. It's flying. It's probably fine. Alright, this is unexciting. Wreck Remover is pretty bad. Gearseeker Serpent is a good way of breaking board stalls, which is important because I only have 1 Engine Rat this time instead of like 3. 6 more cuts. Where do I want to cut from? Maybe I cut Bounce Off just to make the early mana easier. And Diversion is a 2 mana 2/1 flyer. I don't know. Let's cut that as well. So the early mana game works. The mana works slightly easier now. Alright. Is this even good? It's fine, right? It's like a 2 mana 3/2 that starts your engines. I think we tossed Collision Course. Last league that failed to kill things often. And maybe Ether Jacket is a little too bad. We have a lot of 3 mana stuff. Embalmed Descendant is pretty good. If I get it and Zahor, I can definitely drain them a lot by sacking like the entire rest of my board, making 2/2s and then sacking those. Let's get rid of the Tortoise and one of the Guidelight Matrices. And let's try this out. So the tortoise does technically color fix a little bit. So maybe it should stay in. But it's like a 2-mana 3/1 most of the time. Alright, taking a while to find an opponent. Alright, we find one. And let's see if we can pull this off. Alright, we have blue, we have black. We don't have white, but we don't have white cards in hand. We have a risky shortcut to draw 2. This seems pretty good to me. Haunted Hellride, giving Engine Rat Death Touch. There's value right there. Wait, no, actually. Alright, so they have a Surveyor. So I don't currently have my engines started. There's no reason to attack. Oh, that is first strike on their turn. Yikes, didn't realize that. Okay. So I guess I just miss a point of damage. Another Leonin Surveyor. I can play the Hellride out, and now I have a 3/3 to block with. So that should hopefully cool their jets a little bit. I'm almost certainly going to shortcut next turn. Alright, destroy target vehicle. Fair enough. A third Leonin Surveyor. Message received. Opponent likes 2/2 first strikes. Alright. They're about to hit max speed. I'm about to get my white mana. Veteran Beast Rider. End step, untap each creature you control. Gross. I'm gonna lose here probably. I think I just get completely turboed out. So I have the Necro Regent. And I can haunt the network next turn to gain some life. But yeah, that's no good. So I can block there, take 6 and die. Brutal. If I'd been able to play a Tranquil Cove, I would have lived the turn. Alright. Swiftly dispatched round 1. Turns out, when your plan for defending is to have a 1/1 Death Toucher, 2/2 first strike. Pretty good. Alright, we have basic Lantron. So we can go Transit Mage into Packdoll Terror, into Guidelight Synergist, into whatever. We might lead with the Embalmed Descendant just so the engines get going ahead of time. Alright, Forest, Mana Dork. Alright, hopefully they don't do anything too crazy with their Mana Dork. Play a Plains. Opponent says oops. I'm not sure why they say oops. They attack me for 1, which means it's not going to be a Mana Dork next turn either, unless they have some other way. Alright, I draw Zahor. So that's pretty cool. So now we need to find out how to get max speed, which is probably just going to be attack a bunch. So I can go Island Transit Mage. that's crew 2. That's 1. So this attack is safe. And to no one's surprise, they don't block. Alright, so I go Island, Transit Mage, get my Pactol Terror. They're going to mill a card. Alright, nothing interesting while it's in the graveyard. And end turn. Alright, so they can make a ton of mana. They can make 6 mana this turn, which is a lot. But apparently they cannot do anything with it. So that's fun for me. Let's go to combat, see if they flash something in. They might have like a 4-2. There's like a 4-2 flash, right? No, they just take it. That's pretty great for me. Alright, so we play out the Pactol Terror and get another ping. And they instantly kill it. Well, I will sacrifice it to Surveil 1. To get some value out of that. They're just going to mill another card. Alright, absolutely do not need second white. I don't think I need second white for anything in this deck. I guess multi-spelling would be the one thing, but that's fine. Market Back Walker. Concern. Alright, now I need to figure out how to get... Now I need to figure out how to get to max speed. So I guess I can attack here, and if they want to block with their Market Back Walker, that's fine by me. So that crewing that doesn't accomplish anything. They can just take the trade. That's a sacrifice another creature, so I'm not going to do that. Alright, so now I can play a flying creature. Good ol' 1/4. Surveyor. Rats. They also have a flying creature right on time. I'm not feeling too great about what's going on in this game right now. Kind of need some action. Kind of need to top deck like a draw 2 or something. Alright, my own Wicker Folk. Not bad. Not amazing, but not bad. Oh boy. Those are some heaters. Let's put them in that order. And play out the Embalmed Descendant. So opponent has a silly amount of mana, but hopefully not much to do with it, hopefully. Meanwhile, I get to top deck Haunt the Network and get them pretty good and turn the Synergist into a real threat. Alright, opponent is playing slow. Attacks don't make sense at the moment. Opponent's attacks don't really make sense either. Alright, opponent, what do you have for me? I could have ordered these the other way around and started getting Necro Regent triggers earlier. I have 2 flyers. But this is probably fine as well. I don't think it's a huge deal either way. Alright. Have fun with the network being haunted. And I'm now at max speed, which makes Embalmed Ascendant better. I'll attack for 4 in the air, because why not? That doesn't have reach or anything. Alright, they go to 5, which means with Embalmed Ascendant, they're probably just going to die. Like, they would have to block in such a way that doesn't kill any of my creatures or take 5 damage. Alright. We got a win. Good old not... Good to see not no 3. Looks like we completed a quest of some kind as well. Alright, so the first win is just a moral victory, so you don't owe 3. The second and third wins are when you start actually getting value. Alright, basic land, Tron. Turn 1 removal, turn 2 creature. And we have a Hull Drifter. Eventually, assuming we hit another island. I would love to see an opponent like trying to do an aggressive start that just gets stopped by my creatures. So yes, turn 1 Grimbauble, turn 2 Zahur, turn 3, if nothing else, activate Grimbauble. Pact Altera off the top is exciting. Alright, the engines have started. Alright, I do need to draw a 4th land. Unfortunately, pass, nothing to bobble. They cycle a Shepherd Archfiend. Always a little glad to see that hit the bin. Carrion Cruiser. Alright, give me a 4th land. Alright, 4th land, and even more importantly, 2nd blue for Hull Drifter and Gearseeker Serpent. But they did find a Gear Hulk. So that's going to be a bit of a thing. Creature card with mana value 4 or less from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control, gains some keywords, and then goes away. Okay. So they can trade that to kill my terror. I will surveil 1 instead. Yes, give me a land. Alright, do I Hull Drifter now? Or Grimbauble? I think I Hull Drifter this turn, so that next turn I can potentially Grimbauble plus Haunt the Network. Alright, we don't draw a second black source. I'm not going to give them this trade, because my card is pretty good with max speed. Oh, Speed Demon. Okay. That's terrifying. Alright, Roadside Blowout is pretty good. I could just... If I attack with Zahur and they block with Speed Demon, I can kill it with Grimbauble. If they block with the Blood Blockbuster, that's kind of terrible, though. Haunt the Network is not exciting at the moment. Roadside Blowout draws me a card. So let's do that. Let's Grimbauble the Blockbuster. And then jam for 3 on the board. And then the plan is to win through a combination of Speed Demon, a Risky Shortcut, and Haunt the Network. Alright, they play a 4-1. So I think we fire up the Hull Drifter for our attacks here. Put you to 7. And I'm not really in a huge rush to play Haunt the Network. They could obviously have a discard spell, which would make me feel foolish. Alright. The fuel has been siphoned, and they've gained some life. I could have sacked it to prevent that. I'm dumb. I could have sacked it to prevent the life gain. And I simply did not do that. Alright, so let's see. Do we have the mana to Haunt plus Shortcut? 3, 7, 8. Yes, exactly. Alright, so you get crewed up. You two go attacking. Haunt the Network. Each player loses 2 life. It feels really, really good to win with a card draw spell. You just love to see it. Oh, we hit silver 1. Let's go. Draft rank. It's so hard to gain draft rank because it's so hard to play lots of drafts in a short amount of time. Alright, we're up to 2 wins. That's pretty good. Pretty good in my opinion. Alright, we find an opponent, and they have the Ajani avatar, which probably means nothing. Alright, triple black mana in the opener is just no good. Basic Lantron in the opener is very good. I think we send Tune-Up back. Alright, the cards in our hand are not great, but we have lands. We have lands, we can gain a life off of Tranquil Cove. And that double blue for Hull Drifter. Engine Rat, gross. So I could scrap Compactor the Engine Rat. I don't really want to do that. I would love to kill something better, like a Keen Buccaneer. We'll take 1 back to 20. And then kill that. Alright, so now we have a camera launcher, which we're not going to block with because we can exhaust it next turn to make it a lot better. Although we might not be exhausting it next turn. We're probably going to be Hull Driftering. Alright, they stock up, that's their value play. So they get basically better divination. And we get basically worse Mull Drifter. Alright, Transit Mage is cool. Do I want to do that now? Just grab a Pact Altair? Not hugely. I think I'm fine just drawing 2. Alright, we draw the Pact Altair naturally. I'm not sure if that's good or not. The downside is now I'm not even sure if I have targets for Transit Mage. I might have drawn all of them. So we're just sitting here staring at each other at the moment, which is a little bit awkward. Opponent hits their 5th land drop. And they're looking at the Hull Drifter. It's really not worth blowing it up. It's a 3/2 flyer crew 3. It's pretty underwhelming on the board. Like, it's not awful. Like, I can crew with Pact Altair and attack, but it's certainly not exciting. Camera Launcher just need to find some opportunity. Alright, they have their own Hull Drifter. That's fine. They can't crew that this turn. So I could play the Pact Altair. I could Transit Mage, hope to find something. Alright, we find a card. Then I can activate the Exhaust ability. And crew up the Hull Drifter and attack for 3. The stalemate has been broken. I'm now willing to attack with my cards. And the next turn we Pact Altair and see what happens. Alright, Grim Bauble. Gonna kill the Transit Mage, I guess. That's fine. I love for my 3-mana 2/2 to get a removal spell. Alright, Chitin Gravestalker. Alright, this is actually a great draw because it's an artifact I can immediately play to get another trigger off of the Terror. Bada bing. Bada boom. And let's see what we get. Night Market, we don't need. Tune Up, what am I grabbing? Probably nothing, although I'm probably gonna like block with a Pact Altair or something. Let's, I guess, crew with Pact Altair. They're probably going to want to remove it. And if they don't, they might trade Hull Drifters. And then I really get them with a tune-up on a thing that draws 2. Yeah, it looks like they are going to trade Hull Drifters off. Fine by me. That's why I left tune-up on top. And I think tune-up, get the Hull Drifter, affinity for artifacts, cast Gearseeker Serpent. And the Hull Drifter will even be an artifact creature permanently, so I won't have to crew it, so that'll be cool. So, alright, they siphon fuel the Pact Altair. That's fine. I think I still get the Hull Drifter. Do I block this? I think I block this. Just get you out of here. No, don't tap like that. Tap like this to have... Oh, I blocked with another thing. That's fine. Alright. Instantaneously punished by drawing the black-white spell that I could have cast. Ah, reanimate Hull Drifter. What a fun time. Alright. Chef at Archfiend. That's brutal. But it only kills the Hull Drifter, actually. So it's not really all that bad. I'm going to need to deal with a 5/5 flyer, though, which I really don't want to do. So I can play Zahur, start my engines. That doesn't really do much. So I could play this, get 2 artifacts. I think I just play Guidelight Synergist Gearseeker Serpent and pass. They don't have good attacks on the ground anymore. And if the Synergist lives, the Rambler will make it be able to trade with the Archfiend. Gastel Raider whiffs. Alright, you love to see the whiff. Nice 3 mana 2/1. So I need to keep the Wickerfolk around. I need to keep all of my artifacts around if I want the Synergist to be able to trade with the Archfiend. They have their own Reanimate Hulldrifter. Like, marginally less good than mine, although maybe better because of how the Archfiend played out. Alright. Roadside Blowout is not really what I want to see here. I don't want to bounce that. Although, if the attack is big enough, it's worth it. Play that, get that. So this swing for 5 is completely safe. It's just a trade. The Gearseeker Serpent attack is not as good. I think I leave the Serpent back. Alright, they're happy to trade there. That doesn't have any... None of these have any fun abilities, right? Pretty much all vanilla-ish at the moment. Alright, so we get our trade. We play Zahur. They have no good attacks. I technically could Roadside Blowout a pilot, I guess. Not excited to do that. But it is an option if they have another one of these, for example. This is a wild game of draft. Just everyone's reanimating Hulldrifters, infinite value. Another Hulldrifter. Alright. Well, I can't compete with that. I only have the one. Which means I need to start being the beatdown. So Gearseeker Serpent can't be blocked super easily. The rest of my board is also fairly evasive. Alright, do I... Oh, that's a sorcery. Never mind. Alright, so let's send that away. And draw a card, see what we get. So now with that gone, I have good attacks. I have an Engine Rat. Yeah, I think I can play that, right? So we play the rat. That lets me crew up the Rambler without losing an attacker to do so. These guys are crew 3, which is really expensive. So they'd have to crew up their entire thing if they wanted to eat a Thopter or a Wickerfolk. And then they're just taking 1 billion damage. Alright, let's try to kill them before they can use their, like, 7 cards in hand. Alright, they have a bounce off, which is fine because its cost is reduced, so I can just replay it. But it is a huge damage swing. Alright, so that's sack another creature, so nothing to do there. Only the 1 block, though? Really? 6 is, like, not a lot of life when I have an unblockable 5/6 and an engine rat in play. What are they cooking? So I can, like, activate Engine Rat, put them to 4. Gear Seeker Serpent attack, put them to 1. I'm very behind on cards, but very ahead on board. That, I guess they can make that a 4/4. But that's not what they want to be doing here. A Wretched Doll is a blocker that can crew a Hull Drifter if it has to. Gravestalker comes back, obviously. Alright, so I think the plan is activate Serpent, attack with it. How many blockers do they have? They have 3 blockers. They're not turning that on this turn. So they can never have more than 3 blockers. Ah, Pride of the Road, if only. So I think I fire up the Rambler, tapping the Engine Rat. And I activate Serpent. And I think I attack all. I think 4 attackers, 3 blockers means they have to take 1 damage, which means if they don't have a removal spell here, they die. So if they have a removal spell for the Serpent, I'm in trouble. If they don't have a removal spell for the Serpent, they lose. They're just going about blocks like normal, which is definitely a good sign. So if they do this, they take 2 in the air. And they concede. Good game. Opponent had all the value, but we were just a little bit quicker. We evaluated a roll well and attacked them before they could do any funny business. Alright, up to 3 wins. If we lose 2 games in a row, we will be 40 gems short of another draft. So let's not lose 2 games in a row, shall we? Alright, we find another opponent. Alright, we have mana, we have a blocker, we have a thing. So we start by gaining a life, which hopefully won't be relevant. I would really rather 1 life point not be the deciding factor. But if we need it, we have it. Play a swamp and a wreckage Wickerfolk, which let us scry to, putting any land to the bottom. Yeah, no, absolutely not. I need spells. So, opponent is on Mountain Island. Midnight Mangler. Okay. That makes sense. Play the Hell Rider. Attack you for 2. So next turn I get Pride of the Road out, which is exciting. I haven't been able to do that. So far I've just never drawn it when it made sense to play. Alright. So what do you have? Some sort of removal spell for my Wickerfolk, maybe, like a Lightning Strike or something. Alright, nothing yet. So let's play Pride of the Road to start our engines. If they counterspell this, it's pretty bad for me. They don't. And I think I attack with the flyer because I really want to get my engines up. And this one can be blocked. Alright, they do have Lightning Strike, which would have killed either thing. So we're still awkwardly at 1 speed. They look like they might have a removal spell for the Pride. No, please don't. Tyrox a 4/1. That's funny. 2/5 Vigilance. No big deal. Alright. So I think I send the Mangler back to their hand, draw a card. Ooh, risky shortcut. That's fun. We love to see risky shortcut. So now Pride of the Road gets Death Touch, which, who cares? But it is an additional point of damage. They're chumping, unless they have a Lightning Strike or something. And turn. If we get a pure chump block out of them, that would be nice. Nope, just a Galvanic Blast. Alright. Well, that's a bit disappointing, but still fine. We can Synergist or Shortcut next turn. 6 mana. Not enough for both. Alright, so they have that. Starting column is a good draw. So that lets us double spell it with the Synergist. Do I attack with the Haunted Hellride into the Midnight Mangler? They probably just trade, right? And the card is like pretty good at buffing the Synergist. Yeah, so getting max speed has been awkward this game. Our opponent has... Have they missed land drops? I don't think so. I think they're going to be making their 6th this turn. Ooh, Thunderhead Gunner. That's bad. That has reach. So it's still going to be a trade because of Death Touch. So I can risky shortcut here. And draw 2, deal you 2. And then I can play a Gear Seeker Serpent. And I guess I make this attack. This gives Death Touch, right? That doesn't have First Strike. So if they don't block this, it's pretty bad for them. If they do block it, it's still not great for them. Shout out to Starting Column for mana fixing, by the way. Now I have a Gear Seeker Serpent in play. Alright, they take the block. Alright, trade successful. So that's an important synergy piece for them. And selection to make them not get unlucky. So Thopterist is probably just like in here as a decent card for them. So I'll play Zahur. And probably just fire up the Gear Seeker Serpent. No chump blocking this one, opponent. If I can get to 4, I can even pop the Starting Column for card advantage. And not to mention her value. So I think we're in a pretty good spot here. So they need to kill my Serpent, which is not going to be easy in blue-red. Like, they're probably not going to have hard removal as much anyway. They'll have, like, bounces and stuff. Probably. What even is this? A zombie cat warrior. Interesting. Alright. So they're gonna die in 2 to the Gear Seeker Serpent if they do nothing. Obviously they're likely to have something at some point, right? Like, even if it's just a bounce to gain tempo. Is this an attack because you're about to do a Wrath or something? No, this has got to be bait, right? They have like a Lightning Strike and they want me to block with the Gear Seeker Serpent. It's got to be bait. And they don't have max speed, so like even if I do this, it's fine. I'm still at 15. Alright, opponent is thinking in their second main phase. That might have also been just like a can't block, may as well attack, but it doesn't really make sense with the Serpent to just chump attack for no reason. It's gotta be bait. They're hovering the Zahur. Is it Zahur? Is it Zahur? Who knows? So, sitting here waiting while my opponent slow plays whatever they have. Alright, and they do nothing. Fantastic. Alright, Grim Bauble is pretty good, I guess. Is it? Does it matter at all? Not really, to the point that I think I hold it. Let's activate the Serpent. And I think we also fire up the Hell Ride off of Zahur. So we're going to be getting to max speed in combat here. And I don't want them trading off with Zahur before then. Alright, untap the Gear Seeker Serpent to keep the crazy blocks going. Now, this time they can trade with the Hell Ride, and that's fine by me. Alright, a Lightning Strike into the Serpent. Second Lightning Strike. Alright, that's the third Lightning Strike this game. I'll sack the Serpent to surveil one. Annoying. But we can get an island out of the way. Now they have to block with a Midnight Mangler. No, okay, they can cycle a Howler's Heavy to turn the Hell Ride off. And now they can just eat it. Alright, that's definitely a big win for them. I'll take your Thopterist out. Looks like the game continues. I just need to get one more speed, and then I can crack the starting column. Road Rage. Alright. Infinite removal off of my opponent's top decks. And I bottomed 2 lands on a Scry recently. I should have upkeep Scryed there. I'm going to put an upkeep stop now. I should have done it last turn, and I simply forgot. Which is a pretty big error, but hopefully they don't top deck anything crazy to get out of it. Alright, I'm just going to Grim Bauble end of turn to save mana. Alright, you love to see it. Although I guess the Necro Regent is going to be shuffled away by this. But is it Pact Altair? I think it's Hull Drifter, actually. Gotta love the card draw. Alright, we have rebuilt a board. And we have a flyer. We have a flying vehicle which should be able to get through for max speed, and then we can fire off the starting column. Oh, they have a Thopter. Alright, so they exhaust the Buccaneer to loot. I still do need some top decks here. Not out of the woods yet. Please attack with the Thopter. I would love you forever if you attack with the Thopter. Pass to attackers. Nope. No Thopter attack. Alright. Good news, bad news. Good news, we top deck a busted card. Bad news is, how on earth am I supposed to get through to max speed? I think we leave that available because it blocks the Buccaneer, for example. Alright, we attack with the Hull Drifter. They're going to chump block with the Thopter and deny me my delicious max speed value. Alright. Surely next turn I will be able to get to speed 4. Surely they will not have more interaction preventing me. For the love of God. Why? Alright, I can chump attack though, right? Please let me draw something. Please let me draw a removal spell for the gunner. Alright, that's not a removal spell for the gunner. It is, however, multiple bodies. Alright, so if I crew the Hull Drifter and swing with everything but the Necro Regent, they eat like all of my creatures. No, we have to stay back again. Let them get value out of their gunner. But next turn, surely I will be able to chump attack with the Hull Drifter. For the love of... You've got to be kidding me. You have got to be kidding me. This is preposterous, what has happened here. It is completely ludicrous. Thank you. Alright. Is there any way to get more artifacts? No. Haunt the Network. This will drain you for 6. And make me 2 Thopters. And put me to max speed. Alright, so they're at 5. This is draw 2, discard. Let's do that real quick. And now Embalmed Descendant is active as well, which means, yeah, so any attacks I make, even chump attacks, each creature is going to do at least 1 point of damage. And we get through the win. Alright, random cards. Up to 4 wins again, and only 1 loss this time. Will we go 5 wins again? Will we lose 2 in a row? Or will we get 5 wins again? Maybe we go all the way. Maybe this deck can go all the way, guys. It seems pretty powerful. Get an opponent. And 2 lands, no white mana. We have a starting column. I think this is a mulligan. This hand is pretty good. We can get rid of second black source, I guess. We lead on a tap land, and then we can go Ricker Folk, Guidelight Matrix, Watcher in some order. Alright, give me a Surveil. Yeah, Hellride seems fine. Not the most amazing card ever, but it seems completely reasonable. Now they have a Scurryfoot, and they're attacking. This is a combat trick, but I'm just going to fall for it, make them use it. Alright. It's not even a good combat trick, it just trades. That is completely A-okay with me. I'm going to play a Camera Launcher. Might just exhaust it next turn. Although, if I need to draw a land, I'll play the Guidelight Matrix. Tune-up, not doing anything interesting at the moment. If they're an aggro deck, I'm just going to trade with all their stuff. Alright, well, I need to draw a land here. I did not. This game is going to be hard. So they can recast that, or they can cast a Market Back Walker for X equals 2. Alright, well I can put a 3-2 in play and a scrap compactor, which is better than nothing. I need a 4th land. This Pride of the Road will block for days. And I think I just have to block the Walker. If they attack with it, they'll be able to draw 2 or 3, but it won't get out of hand. Nope, they have a Road Rage. Okay. They put a counter on the Walker. And swing with it. Alright, I get the 4th land. Do I just have to scrap compactor the Walker this turn? I think I might. Like, this is going to be my only chance to do it. And then they're going to draw even more cards if I let it live. So yeah, congratulations, you drew 3 cards. Thunderhead Gunner is scary. This card is so annoying. Like a 4/5 reach that cycles. Alright, well I can play out my Pride of the Road, which is a 2/5, which blocks decently, I guess. These would just bounce. They would eat that or that. So they activate. Activating first, not getting any synergy out of it, is pretty good. If they had like a Mako or something, that would be very scary. A Scurryfoot. They crew. I'll block the Burner Rocket. And my Pride of the Road is killed. I'm just going to get run over here. I'm at 6. They have like 9 power in play. Okay, well, I can Grimbauble a Fang Guardian. And that's all. Tune-up is specifically artifacts. Alright, I guess I grab Camera Launcher back. But I'm just dead here, right? Like, they fire up the Burner Rocket, they play the Thrill Roller. So yeah, they're gonna get me here, I think. Alright, they do even better, they rise from the wreck. Alright. Good games. Yep. Opponent was just a little bit too quick for me. We really want to be playing the grindy mid-range mirrors. Aggro decks are a bit spooky for our deck in particular. We've got clumsy mana, not that many early plays. But boy, the top end. If we can get to the top end with a reasonable life total, we're in good shape. Okay, this does literally nothing to the board, like, ever. This is fine. Throw away Tune-Up. Tune-Up probably shouldn't be in the deck. I don't think it's very good. Alright, they have their Wreckage Wickerfolk. They get to Surveil 2. I have my own Wreckage Wickerfolk. Alright, Broadcast Rambler is a decent top deck. So they're green-black. Guidelight Synergist seems like an okay draw. I'm going to have a fair amount of artifacts this game. Alright, Risky Shortcut. They get to draw a bunch. So just play a cantrip. No attacks. The old Wicker Folk stare down. Regal Imperiosaur. Don't love that. So I guess I play this, and it's a 3/4. This doesn't have trample or anything, right? It's just a vanilla 5/4. Alright, that's manageable. Lifecraft Engine gives dinosaurs. Alright, no blocks. I'll take 6 here. It's a lot, but I have Haunt the Network. Alright. Actually, do I Haunt the Network? I think I broadcast Rambler first. So this gives me enough artifacts that the Imperiosaur can't really attack. Do I attack? I could jam my Synergist in. Let's do that. Let's make this a bit of a race, and I have Haunt the Network coming in next turn to win the race. It's a very aggressive line, but if they have more buffs for the Imperiosaur, then I'm in trouble. Like if they can give this trample, or like even just like +1/+1 would be kind of a problem because it means the Rambler can't trade with it. So they fire up Lifecraft Engine. And they go to combat. I think I tap the Wicker Folk. I don't know why. It doesn't really matter. Alright. Please, no combat tricks. Do I chump block here to gain 5? I think I do. Please, no combat tricks. Alright, Maximum Overdrive. That's a combat trick. So I lose 2 artifacts. And I don't draw a land, which means I can't even play Haunt the Network and Scrap Compactor to activate it next turn. Well, I think I have to Haunt the Network. And I think I continue being aggressive. If they don't block with the Wicker Folk, I might just race them down with my Synergist. Like, I can Scrap Compactor and kill that. Alright, Momentum Breaker. Oh no, not a creature. Whatever will I do without one of my many 1/1s? The problem is going to be having enough artifacts at the end of the turn to kill them. So I need to not preserve my life total as much as I would want. If they fire up the engine, I think I just take 11 or 12. They go all attacks. I'll take the free block and take 12. Alright, what does their speed do? Oh, Momentum Breaker. So that's concerning. They can gain 2. But I can put 2 more artifacts in play. And I have lethal on board as it is. Alright, so playing out the Scrap Compactor insulates me against a single removal spell on one of the smaller guys. Playing out the starting column still leaves me able to cast Risky Shortcut. Now we go to attacks. See if they have 2 removal spells. They're just going to gain life. And go to 6. Alright, we got there. We had 2 points of damage left over in hand. Didn't need it. Alright, we're up to gold 4. Hooray. That's like 1 extra pack, I think. And we're at 5 wins, 2 losses. Alright. It's 4:56 and I'm starting another game. Alright. Opponent with the most skillful of avatars. Alright, this hand is pretty good. No blue mana, but no blue cards to need them. Okay, opponent leads on a Molt Tender. I'll lead on a tap land, and probably Grimbauble that Molt Tender. Alright, Treasurer's Insight. Gonna get them value. Gonna turn on their Molt Tender. So what do they have in there? A Possession Engine and a Giant Dinosaur. And then a random Death Touch creature. Alright, so they grab the Giant Dinosaur. That's worrying. Let's cut off their ramp. And I guess put a Scrap Compactor in play. Just may as well use the mana. And then next turn, I think I play Embalm Descendant. Alright, they have a mole. Mole is a problem because it's going to make attacking very difficult. And I think I just need to save the Scrap Compactor for the Aganosaur Rex. Like, they're going to play it next turn, and it's an 8/8. So I need some way of stopping that. They have stock up for... This person has just infinity value. Just all the value in the world. And they're blue-green. Which means they are going to have exhaust stuff for mana sinks. So I guess next turn I can starting column and then, like, do nothing. I can't attack through the mole. I can't Scrap Compactor the mole. If I Scrap Compactor the mole, the Aganosaurus Rex is just, like, cleanly better than me. Alright. Guidelight Synergist is good. It's a flying creature, at least. So that doesn't have reach. None of these guys have reach. And they have a Hull Drifter. Alright, opponent is Greed Incarnate, and they are getting away with it, because I am slightly less greedy than them. So that's crew 3, so they can crew it. But it would only be a chump block, so whatever. Alright, Operation Kill Them in the Air is a go. And we can tune up to get the Synergist back if we need to. Shout out to Scrap Compactor holding off the Aganosaurus Rex. I really love having an answer to that instead of no answer to it. Alright, opponent is thinking. They're probably thinking on if they want to cast this or not. whether they want a Hull Drifter attack or not. They have a billion cards in hand. There's a lot to think through. Alright, they just play a Molt Tender. So that's even more mana, but it's fine. Do I sack the Grim Bauble to look to Surveil 2? I think so. I think that's worth it. I'm probably going to find another artifact off of this. Yeah, Guidelight Matrix. Put a land at the bottom. Land, Guidelight Matrix, draw a card. Transit Mage is good. Transit Mage, draw a card. And I think we grab Pactol Terror. I'm not sure. It might be correct to grab a Hull Drifter there and try to outvalue them, but I kind of just want to burn them to death. Again, they can chump block if they want to. It looks like they are doing it. But they're definitely hovering their creatures. Crew 3. They could have exhausted that, made a 3/3. I guess they can exhaust that at any time. Do they have a combat trick? They're cycling the Aganosaurus Rex to kill my Synergist. Alright, I mean, that's definitely very good for them. So I can Pactol Terror and then tune up the Synergist to get it back. If I draw a land, that is. Mindspring Merfolk. Oh god, that's going to draw them, what, like 4 cards plus? Yikes. I don't think I'm getting out of this one. Opponent is still at 17, by the way. Alright, so they swing in for 5. Camera launcher is not great. It's not terrible. It's a trigger for the Pactol Terror, at least. So let's play that out. Are any of these attacks good? No. And they can use that to exhaust the Scurryfoot and get a 3/3. Alright, so they have a giant board. I would not be surprised if their board could safely attack, even beyond the Hull Drifter. Although maybe not. Pactol Terror does a lot of work as a 3/4. Guidelight Synergist, the only thing that worth getting with tune-up. Opponent has a lot of lands, which means they can draw, what, 5... 6, theoretically 6 cards with Mindspring Merfolk. And at that point, we're just on the live long enough to mill them out plan. Like, we're not winning at that game, conventionally. Alright. They're just going to crew up the Hull Drifter and attack. Take another 5, take another 6. They can make that a 3-power creature and hit me for 8 if they want. It's probably worth it. Opponent is playing quite slowly, so there's no way of checking how long it's been in best of one. Alright, so they killed my Pact Altair, put me to 12. I think I'm probably just dead here. Another stock up just to rub it in. This is the same person. Yeah, they've stocked up before. I don't know. Maybe they get too greedy and mill out. You gotta play for every little bit of value you can. All right, they're adding a blue mana and a Aetherdrift for even more flyers. Alright, well, the Necro Regent is something. I think in that case we tune up the Pact Altair to get to max speed. And I guess we can exhaust the camera launcher to get a 1/1, but feeling super dead here. Necro Regent not being able to be active this turn is probably going to do it. I still don't have any flying blockers at the moment for the Hull Drifter. So I could Scrap Compactor something as well, but I want to Scrap Compactor the Hull Drifter eventually when I have 6 mana available. I don't know. Maybe playing this out is just pointless. Like, even if I kill the Hull Drifter, then what? They have a billion creatures to go to attacks with. They're attacking with an elephant, which means they probably have a combat trick and I'm probably just going to die. I'll activate the camera launcher and try to use it instead of the Pact Altair. Alright, they run over the Pact Altair. At least I get Embalmed Descendant triggers now that we're at max speed. So let's just do some trading, I guess. Take a bunch of damage, as usual. Embalmed Descendant, you are a good friend. I do not think it's going to be enough. Alright, they have a Death Toucher. Haunt the Network. Haunt the Network is pretty good. So if I Haunt here, I would gain 5, drain them for 5, and make a bunch of guys. Yeah, let's do that. You never know. Now who's at 13 opponent? It's me. And I have 5 creatures, which is like starting to get close to a point where they can't just like carelessly attack, or the Ascendant will be a problem. I still have a bunch of 2/2s and 1/1s. And they can gain a life a turn with the Molt Tender. That might be a bigger problem, if anything. So I guess I sack the starting column to loot, try to find something. And then, if nothing else, I don't know, maybe I have the life to, like, make attacks. I doubt it, though. They could still mill out. You never know. They have 10 cards in library. Alright, nope. Just crewing up the Hull Drifter. And what attacks do they make? They could saddle that, which wouldn't make a whole lot of sense, but they might do it. Alright, no saddling. Why are they holding up mana? That's scary. Let's make some blocks, I guess. Like, genuinely, probably just everything except the Ascendant. If you have something that gives the team trample, then I'm dead. Oh, that is so much worse. So now I lose my board and I don't even drain them 4 out of it. Alright. At that point, we're just kidding ourselves. Like, there's not a second... there's not a second 5 mana thing that destroys them. Alright. Still, though, 5 and 3 is nothing to complain about. We ran a bit over. I will be here tomorrow playing Satisfactory at 2 to 5, as usual. So make sure to be here then. If you're not interested in Satisfactory, I'll be back playing Magic the Gathering on Thursday. Same time, 2 to 5. So yeah, make sure to follow.